Hi, I'm Debbie Peterson, founder of the Wellness Gala. We promote the healing benefits of integrative medicine and holistic choices accessible to everyone. I've experienced their life-changing results firsthand. I can't wait to share these options with you in Season 5 of our show, Balance Your Life. Each week, along with my co-hosts Barb and Dina, we'll be bringing you experts in fitness, food, health, beauty, and wellness with options, tips, and techniques for a balanced mind, body, and spirit. On today's episode, we'll be speaking with Dan Millman, who's the author of 17 books, including The Peaceful Warrior's Way. Then we talk with CEO of Kripalu Center for Yoga and Health, Robert Mulhall. But first, we visited Starseed Bakery, which is 100% gluten, dairy, soy, and GMO free. I hope you enjoy watching. Hi everyone, we're here today at Starseed Bakery in Rockaway, New Jersey with the owner, Linda Begg. Linda, thank you for having us here today.
You're very welcome.
We are excited
Yes.
to hear all about this and to dive in.
Yes, and we're here at Starseed because they are gluten-free, soy-free, dairy-free, and GMO-free. Did I get that all?
Yep, that's a
Okay.
mouthful.
And dyes, right? You cut out dyes also.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And also,
Dye-free.
we know you customize things, but we'll get into that. Tell us how you started, first of all.
I started 10 years ago, and I was doing activism about genetically modified foods and what they were doing to people's bodies. It was concerning me and causing inflammation. And I was also concerned, my husband had to go on a gluten and dairy-free diet. So
Okay.
those two things kind of converged at the same time.
Oh.
And so I decided I need to make food that people can eat that's healthy for them.
That's
so
great.
that's how it began.
Yeah, and now, wow, now you have an empire. Well,
Not quite, but it's
Getting
been
there.
growing every single year.
Yeah, well, 10 years, that's fantastic.
Yeah, more and more allergens that people have, or allergies, and
So you're in retail locations throughout our state,
we
correct?
are,
In the
yeah.
country, right?
Well, more the East Coast. We have
Okay.
a distributor, and they sell to natural health food stores up and down the East Coast. So we kind of are doing it all, and online ordering as well.
Well, this has
Fantastic.
become so mainstream, though, because it's such a needed thing, especially the gluten-free, I guess, would be the most prominent.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
And
I know
it's
you're in
just growing.
ShopRite.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
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 It's just growing like crazy every single year because more and more people need, I mean, it's either from a health issue or they're voluntarily deciding to do something about their diet, or their kids have some kind of an issue because of maybe dyes in the foods.
Right.
It just keeps growing and growing, and then
does.
what's happening right now is everybody wants sugar-free. So
Oh,
since
okay.
sugar is an inflammatory food, I mean, we do make a lot of things that are with sugar, but we
Right.
also make a lot of things that are not, or foods that are with natural sweeteners.
So in addition to people making this changeover for medical reasons, they're making these choices and this changeover, and the health benefits are tremendous.
My husband had a diagnosis of colitis, so he had to eat gluten and dairy free. And they told him that he would have that for the rest of his life. Well, after 3 months, he was completely healed. And so I knew that we were onto something, and that
Yes.
people would heal from this, and it was so much better for them, and it would also be a way to teach people more about what genetically modified foods are doing to our microbiome. So it was sort of a win-win.
Right. Wow.
That's
And then
amazing.
how many products do you actually have? Do you know?
Oh, we have probably over 50 products, and there are many different categories. So we have a lot of products that are vegan. Since we're dairy free, all we have to do is take out the eggs and it becomes a vegan product.
Oh,
so
great.
in every category, the muffins, cakes, breads, pies, we have a lot of vegan.
Right.
options.
Okay, that's great, because that's,
So-
of course, a growing genre. Is that the right word?
Very, very much so.
Okay.
And since I began, it was just more and more demand, so then we kept answering to the demand.
That's great.
And then, in addition to that, there was also a lot of sugar-free needs. A lot of people have diabetes or pre-diabetes, and they need to cut sugar or want to cut sugar. So we have sugar-free, we have low sugar, natural
great.
sweeteners we use. So we bake a lot cleaner than,
Yes.
than typical.
And that's wonderful, because people, that have these ailments, or, things they need to cut back on the sugar. But everything just looks delicious, smells delicious, tastes delicious. I have had your product.
So, Linda, this is a subject that's really near and dear to my heart. My daughter, who you'll meet later, is gluten-free and dairy-free, and finding things that are wholesome, and that taste good. She's young. It's a struggle. So I'm thrilled.
Good.
Yeah, all the kids are eating all kinds of
yeah.
stuff, and then she can't eat it, or right, or she gets really sick.
Well, we won't make it unless it tastes really good.
That's
I don't
awesome.
understand.
I don't know how you do it. It's amazing.
We use a lot of, it sounds cliche, but we use a lot of really natural, wholesome, really good ingredients. And
Yes.
I know people say that, but we absolutely do. And so you taste it.
Yeah, you do.
You really taste
really
it.
do.
And it makes a difference. And then your body feels good. So it's a win-win.
So we're going to bring in Gia, who's Dina's daughter, has the gluten intolerance.
She has goodies.
That's our vegan banana chocolate chip streusel muffin.
Wow.
How is it?
These are really tasty.
That's our bestseller.
Gia, thank you.
Really?
Absolutely. Help yourself. Another favorite is, of course, cupcakes and cakes, and we customize those for people. And when people have multiple allergies, poor kids can't get a birthday cake.
Oh,
Yes.
And I've had people come here and they're crying because they are so happy to actually have a birthday cake. It's been maybe 10 years that they couldn't have
my.
one. So it means a lot to people. My mission is baked into every product.
That's fantastic.
That is fantastic.
Love it. So how can people find out about everything you do?
They can find us, they can order online.
Okay, great.
They can come to our retail store, and you can also look online to find out what stores in New Jersey that we sell to. And we have a distributor that sells all around to natural health food stores. So we're pretty much getting out
Okay,
there.
great. Do you want to give us your website?
Yes, it's starseedbakery.com.
Wonderful. Well, Linda, thanks again for having us. It's been amazing.
Linda.
And now we're going to go try all these things.
Yes. We're very excited to do that.
And we'll be right back. Barb, I see you have a lovely cocktail today.
I do.
All
Today
right.
I'm going to show you how to make a paloma. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. It is.
I have not.
No, it is the drink du jour right now. It's what everybody's drinking. And once again, it's made from tequila, which I've mentioned before. If you're going to have any kind of booze, tequila is the best to have.
Okay.
You don't
Healthiest.
absorb it's the healthiest, right? Not necessarily the best. It's made from the agave plant. You do not absorb the sugar from it. It's also 0 carbs.
Okay.
So if you're going to have alcohol, tequila should be it. So this is, again, super simple cocktail. It has grapefruit juice, lime juice, some agave syrup,
Okay. And of course, tequila.
and of course tequila. Yes, yes. So I'm going to show you
awesome.
how to do this. So if you want to salt your rim by putting a little grapefruit juice on there, putting your glass into some coarse
Kosher salt.
kosher salt,
right.
yeah. And then you want to gently drop your ice cubes in there so that you don't knock the salt off the rim.
Right.
You want to save as much salt as you can because that's the best part. You're going to put 2 ounces of tequila.
Okay.
That's about 2 ounces. 2 ounces of grapefruit juice. Fresh is best if you can do it.
Okay, so squeeze these babies.
Yeah, squeeze those babies and put all that in there. Then you top it off with seltzer. I actually have grapefruit seltzer.
Oh.
Just why not?
Okay.
Because it's grapefruit.
Get a little fizz.
Get a little fizz in there.
Nice.
And then you're going to want to put about a tablespoon of fresh lime juice. And if you want, you can put a teaspoon of agave syrup. Again, it's made from the same plant as the tequila. Just in case grapefruit juice is a little on the sour, acidic edge for you. Stir that up. And then give yourself a little grapefruit garnish.
Okay, and we're done.
And we're done.
Excellent. Cheers.
Cheers.
I'd like to invite you to my new show that I wrote at the request of my late daddy. It's called Hoodwinked from Heaven. Now, Daddy always wanted me to be a country singer, but I fell in love with Mozart when I was 15 years old, and I never looked back. Until my daddy got Alzheimer's and he asked me to write some country and pop songs that he could listen to before he moved on to heaven. Now, little did I know my daddy knew exactly what he was doing to get me back to singing in a pair of cowboy boots.
Do you suffer from headaches, stiff, sore joints, digestive disorders, recurring infections, emotional stress, or sleepless nights? Try Enzyme Nutrition. It's scientific, personalized, and has no side effects. Visit Susan Richter, RN, at nextlevelhealing.com. Read her reviews or reach out directly at 973-586-0626 to learn more.
Hi everyone, we're here today with Dan Millman, who is an author and speaker and so many other things, Dan, that I would love you to tell us about.
Oh, sure. For those who don't know my work,
Yes.
I began in the field of athletics. I was a young trampoline bouncer. I ended up winning a world championship, a martial arts instructor, and college professor at Oberlin College in Ohio.
Oh, wow.
But I went on a 20-year intensive spiritual quest, let's say, working with 4 radically different master teachers in preparation for writing 18 books, and I've spoken in about 32 countries. So I've been around the block, so to speak.
Yes,
and,
yes.
A variety of topics.
And you were really a pioneer in the breakthrough of people finding awareness and looking, inside themselves. I think
Yes.
everyone who has started on that journey has read your books, The Peaceful Warrior Way. So where you are now and the journey that you've taken, do you feel like the world is changing and more open to it?
Well, I've pointed out that life does come to us in waves of change that we
Yes.
can neither predict nor control. Many of us have noticed this,
Yes.
but we can learn to surf those waves and learn to flow with whatever arises. And so what I teach, many people say, well, all the teachers are saying much the same thing, but but I think it's important to note the differences as well.
Okay.
In terms of whether it's practical, whether it's realistic. I try to focus on not only the present moment, but everyday life
Okay.
and what we actually meet. Because I view everyone as a peaceful warrior in training, in the sense that each of us is striving to live with a peaceful heart, but there are times we need a warrior's spirit
Yes.
just to
Yes.
tackle
Yes.
the challenges of everyday life.
So what are can you give us some of the tips maybe that you teach to people about this?
Sure, I'd be happy to. A couple of principles. For example, one thing I emphasize is it's so important today, especially for young people, but anyone, not to stop comparing ourselves to other people. Because look, young people are getting depressed, seeing
Yes.
everyone else on Instagram or TikTok, and they all look their best, and they're looking so happy,
Right.
and they compare their own lives, and they seem to be lacking. But when I was a young coach, I realized that when I taught people back somersaults, some people learned the somersault faster than others. But I realized later that those who took longer to learn it often learned it better than the ones who learned it faster. So we need to trust our own process of learning and of living, and just stop comparing ourselves to appreciate our own process, our own way of approaching life.
Yes.
And another practical element for daily life is I offer an antidote to stress, because stress is a part of life. Now,
Yes.
one way to avoid any stress in life, just don't care about anything.
Sure. All right.
Easy.
Yeah.
But we do care.
Of
We
course.
do care about our loved ones and so on. So stress is going to be part of our life, but it's not the stress, because that's just a word, that's a concept. It's a feeling in our body, and it's associated with tension. And even though we can't necessarily avoid stress in life, even at happy occasions can be stressful.
Right.
But the point is, what do we do about it? And my focus is here and now, breathe and relax. By remembering to just take a deep breath every now and then
Right.
and relax the body. Being relaxed and stressed is very different from being tense and stressed. Things people can actually do. I don't give abstract theories about a lot of things because we have enough to think about already. I
absolutely.
like actionable, practical, realistic ways to address the issues of daily life. And
great.
so I work in the areas of self-knowledge, of life purpose. And for example, I'm going to be teaching a workshop at Omega Institute.
Yes, we were going to
Yes,
talk
I
about
heard
that.
that.
Yes, in
Oh,
June.
good.
Yeah.
Was that a good segue then?
That's
That's
fantastic.
great.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Okay. Well, good. I was one of the original life coaches since I
Yes.
was actually a coach in the arena in gymnastics, a very difficult sport to coach.
Yes.
So when my interest expanded out of the gymnasium into everyday life, I started looking at the bigger picture. And how can we create talent, not for sports necessarily, but talent for everyday life, for relationships, for finances, for physical elements and
So needed.
ailments. I was one of the original life coaches way back when, before many people were born who are listening to this right now.
Right.
So I've been teaching it, and my work has evolved over time. So this, it's funny. I never let the title of a workshop interfere with what I have to say.
Okay,
Love
good.
it. That's great.
That's perfect.
It's like, what do we have? How much time do we have, and what can I give? And that's what I
That's
do.
wonderful.
Okay,
So we
love it.
touch on many areas: life purpose, the 12 courses in the School of Life, how spiritual laws actually work, how we can harness their power. So these are some of the things I'll be sharing in this kind of masterclass.
And I have to just say, when I was looking at your website, and I saw you have an app on there to help you find your life purpose.
Purpose calculator.
A purpose calculator.
Yeah.
Yeah. And of course, we both had to
Yeah,
do
the
it
life purpose-
because that's the coolest thing.
Yeah. Well, and people find it like amusing, like the Sunday astrology, thing. But actually, it's based on a profound system I learned.
Okay.
One of my best-selling books, over 1 million copies, is called "The Life You Were Born to Live,"
Yes.
which
Yes.
outlines
Great book.
the 45 life paths for anyone born, including young children, in the last, say, century.
Okay.
And it really helps clarify and increase self-knowledge. A means to look at ourselves and discover more. The reason self-knowledge is so important is if we don't really know ourselves realistically, if we're kind of afraid to look, then we end up making the right decision for the wrong person, the one we thought
Right.
we were. My work has a breadth to it because I've been exposed to so many things. And always the question is, how do we get practical outcomes, not just abstract philosophy? So that's what I like to focus on
Yeah,
in my
that's
various
great.
work.
So and when you
Yeah,
work
and
with
my
people,
books.
it sounds like you're meeting the individual where they're at until they're ready for more.
Yes, exactly.
Beautiful. That's
Exactly.
Yeah, that really
That's a good
is.
way to put it.
wonderful.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
so needed.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
have great respect. I have great respect for the people I share with. I view, as I said, everyone is a peaceful warrior in training, and
Yes.
each of our stories is unique. There's not a single story on the planet just like mine or like yours.
That's right.
And so we need to appreciate the quiet heroism, the moments of courage we've shown in our own lives. We've all overcome adversity, small or large, in our lives.
Right.
And it's made us a little wiser and a little stronger. In fact, you could say that what I do, my work, is about reminding people of what they already know at deeper levels, but we tend to forget.
That's it.
Yeah. We're
Yes.
here to remember.
And so we know you're going to be at Omega in June, and I also saw that you're going to be at Kripalu in November.
In November, I'll be teaching
Yes.
at Kripalu, exactly.
Okay, and same
I-
type of class. So if they don't catch you at Omega, they go to
Yes.
Kripalu. Okay,
They can go to Kripalu, yeah,
love
same
that.
type of class.
Okay, that's
Okay,
wonderful. Well, Dan, it's been such a pleasure. Thank you for being on today with us.
Oh, it has been. And if
Yes.
anybody wants to learn more, they can just drop by my website, peacefulwarrior.com.
Wonderful.
Wonderful.
All right. Well, thank you
Dan.
again,
It's been a pleasure.
and we'll be right back.
I'm Adora Winquist, founder of the Soul Institute, and I welcome you to join me for an immersive alchemical training to explore divine knowledge and ancient healing traditions for aspiring sacred leaders in modern times. The love frequency teaches that the most extraordinary power is held within your heart. You have a voice inside that will guide, empower, and channel your divine light, transforming your life.
Hi, everyone. We're here today with Robert Mulhall, who is the CEO of Kripalu. And thanks for being with us, Robert.
Welcome, Robert.
It's great to be here.
So, Robert, tell us what Kripalu offers.
Yeah, Kripalu Center for Yoga and Health. We've been around for just over 50 years. And through all that time, we've been focused really on the individual's journey of discovery and growth and healing and health. We're primarily a retreat center here in the Berkshires in Western Massachusetts, just north of New York City and west of Boston. But we're now also very much online, serving folks in all states in the US and in 50 countries around the world.
That's amazing.
And the organization has held this view of its role to be focused on individual transformation, healing, and growth. And in the last number of years, we've really expanded that to be at this intersection of individual and collective transformation, helping individuals wake up to the best lives that they can lead, so that they can go out into the world and serve and help us all live in more harmony, more peace, and create a more beautiful world that we all know is possible.
Yes,
That's beautiful.
amazing. Yeah.
Is that a change with the programming or the focus of the programming?
Yeah, it's been a change in that, as well as just our own internal culture and how we sort of see ourselves in the world. You know, quite a lot of things obviously happened over the last few years around the whole world that affected all of us, but also particularly in the United States. And we said the world is going to be irrevocably changed as a result of the pandemic and everything else that's been happening around social justice issues in the United States. And we said we need to evolve with these times and be really preparing for people to be in their own practice in this new world that we're in. And so we've been focusing a lot more on programs that serve not just individual transformation, but actually look at collective transformation and collective healing also. But also that means bringing in new voices and new teachers that previously were not in the sort of the wellness, the well-being world. They weren't getting elevated and listened to. And so we've been focusing on bringing in some of those voices.
That's great.
Wonderful.
I love that, because then you can get some new blood in, so to speak.
Exactly. And it allows us then to, one of the big things that we're doing since we've reopened is to be as accessible as we possibly can, knowing that, you know, a lot of the time folks that can access all of these great healing modalities and all of these great teachings are folks that have spare time or spare financial resources, and they have the capacity to travel, etc. And we said that's good, but we know there are so many more people in the world that could benefit from what we call this good medicine.
Absolutely.
And so online really helps us do that and really helps us engage with more folks. But we've also started to offering our scholarships here at Kripalu Center. So this year in 2023, we're hoping to serve 5,000 people through scholarships.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So that really anybody that can come to Kripalu can access it regardless of their financial means.
That's
wonderful. Yeah, I didn't know you had that. That's really, that's
so
a
when
great
you say
thing.
you're expanding your reach, it's not just geographically. You're really trying to reach everyone if they want to be there. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's well done.
It's
We're
great.
holding this. Thank you. We're holding this vision that in time that we want everybody that's in our beautiful dining hall eating our incredible food. We want everybody to be sitting at a table with a stranger or a friend they're about to meet, and we want them to be surprised by each other. We want them to be sitting there with the lawyer from the investment bank and be like, wow, I didn't expect to see you here. And they want them to be with the nurse practitioner. I didn't expect to see you here. And the teacher and the person who's on day release from the local jail and the 14-year-old entrepreneur and et cetera, et cetera. And we just want this community to be truly diverse and intergenerational, because we know at that intersection, when people of all different races and communities and minds really start to come together and are held in a container that's about healing and transformation, then people can get a taste of what's possible outside the walls of Kripalu and out in the world, and how we can actually live together.
This is incredible.
Yeah,
This is really incredible. If you've ever
so needed right now
had the Kripalu experience, it is that. It's kind of like camp for adults.
Exactly. Yeah, I think we're running about 100 programs online, and we have this wonderful product called the Kripalu Online Studio, where if you don't want to take a particular program, you can just sign up and do weekly classes, weekly yoga, meditation, breathwork classes.
Oh, that's great.
As an ongoing thing.
So important. That's wonderful. And this was all, this all came about because of the need that the pandemic emphasized, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, during the pandemic, we obviously closed our retreat center. That was both what we needed to do responsibly, but also then became sort of state law to not be open in large numbers.
Yes.
And the way we wanted to keep the flame alive was, with our whole community, was through our online offerings. And people really responded very well to that.
Wonderful.
And the great news is, as we've opened the center again and seen people flooding back, people are sustaining the online engagement as well. Because, you know, people come here once or twice a year and they have these really amazing weekend or week-long experiences. And then they go home, and we want them to be able to sustain that experience, sustain
ongoing.
their practice as they go.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And tell us a little bit about your background and how you got involved there.
Yeah, so I grew up in Ireland, born and raised, and grew up in a very unique school and family that was really focused on teaching myself and my friends about mindfulness and meditation, and really how to sort of see the world in a very holistic way, and how to see and understand ourselves in a holistic way. So we grew up with a couple of really fundamental ideas, which I wish every child was able to hear these things on a regular basis.
Robert,
and they were that.
I have to interrupt you because we really need that in this country.
Yeah,
You
we
know?
do.
And that's such a rare thing. Is that common now back in Ireland, or?
It's becoming more common for sure. Like mindfulness and social emotional learning is becoming much, much more popular, like it is growing in certain parts of the United States. But there's a long road to still go.
Sure.
All right. Well, hopefully we're helping get there, right?
Yeah.
Especially here.
Exactly. At Kripalu, we've been running a yoga in schools initiative for a long, long time.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Here in the local area, but also with New York City Department of Education for a long time, both with the teachers and the administrators and the actual students.
That's great.
And really wanting to continue to support these amazing people that are doing all of this incredible work for us, that we call them like the frontline workers. And so we have a particular initiative that we call the RISE program that supports people in high stakes, high stress environments, social workers, educators, nurses, firefighters, etc. We either go to their places of work or they come up here to the center, and we try to support them.
And this is a new initiative also.
This one has actually been going on for about 15 years.
Wow.
Oh,
okay, that's
new.
fantastic.
Yeah.
They're so
That's so much
far
they do. I know.
ahead of the curve.
Really.
You guys really are. It's incredible.
It's amazing what you do there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And a big part of it is, a big part of our work is just trying to bring in more and more and more people into this fold. If they feel called to asking themselves some big questions about life, whether they're at a life transition point or they're just saying, wow, maybe there's more to this.
Yes.
Maybe there's more than just how I'm sort of like stepping through life.
Right.
And whether that's an entryway in around their sort of physical health or their mental, emotional health, or they want to sort of expand into some of those sort of bigger, sort of esoteric spiritual questions that they might have.
Right.
And we're trying to offer programs. So this year we're going to offer about 500 programs for folks.
that's
And
tremendous.
that'll be across the gamut.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can't wait
There's
to
a
come.
beautiful lake here for the summertime that opens up, and there's kayaking and stand-up paddleboarding. There's these incredible organic meals every day. And then there's guided mindful outdoor hiking. There's archery. There's rooms where you can just sit and be in silence and read and relax.
So how can people find out about everything at Kripalu?
Yeah, so go to our website, www.kripalu.org, and you'll see everything that's happening on campus or online. You can also obviously follow us on Instagram and Facebook.
Okay, we go tomorrow.
Robert, I hope we see you when we're there.
Yes, absolutely. Look forward to seeing you soon.
That'll be wonderful.
And thanks for being on with us today.
Yeah, my
Keep up the
pleasure.
great work.
All right,
It's
take
fantastic.
care.
Thanks, Robert.
And we'll be right back.
Do you want to restore your tooth enamel and eliminate sensitivities? Holistic Hacker here with my #1 hack for cavities, Dentite Tooth Armor. You may think you can't heal cavities, but I've done the research and it's actually possible with Dentite. Just brush it in. Studies show within 2 minutes it begins resurfacing tooth enamel and protects teeth 4 times stronger than fluoride. Dentite is a game changer for myself and so many others. Grab some at mfoods.shop and be pain-free today.
Thanks for watching today, and be sure to check out balanceyourlife.tv and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you'll be eligible to win a lot of our great giveaways.